Welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm going to be removing my stick drift permanently. If you don't know what TMR and Hall Effect joysticks are, I'm going to explain it. So Hall Effect is a less expensive version of TMR, so it's more like a budget version of it. But essentially they're both the same on what they do. Regular joysticks are mechanical. The TMR and Hall Effect use magnets. So mechanically, when plastic rubs together, obviously it wears down with just wear and tear. But with the magnets, that's almost impossible since it just uses magnetic fields. So if you don't want stick drift being a problem anymore, just look for TMR or Hall Effect joysticks. You can either do it yourself, but if you don't know how to solder and if you're scared to open up a controller, then just go to any other company you buy from, right? And just look for anti-stick drift or TMR/Hall Effect joysticks. So the difference between Hall Effect and TMR is that TMR is more precise, which is why it's more expensive. It's mostly used for competitive gaming. Hall Effect are just for casuals or if you want to play competitive but on a budget. When you buy a TMR, there's some that are like 20 bucks a piece just for one pair of a controller. But the one that I bought was 2 pairs for 20 bucks. And Hall Effect, I'm gonna buy 3 pairs and they're like 15 to 20 bucks. But when you buy these joysticks, you gotta make sure that they're for PlayStation 5 controllers. If I want to do PS4, then I have to make sure it's for the PS4 controller, and so on with like Switch Joy-Cons as well. So I have 2 PS5 controllers. I'm going to be replacing them with TMR joysticks. The first controller I did off camera just to make sure that I know what I'm doing and I can do it well and not mess up anything, because the next controller is the controller what I mainly use. It's the one that I use every day. The first controller that I did, I used to use it a lot, but then I bought a Scuf controller because the stick drift. So I haven't used this controller in like 4 years. It had like major stick drift, so I had to replace it. So in the TMR box, I got a pair of potentiometers, of course, and then I got another pair of new joysticks that I can replace them with. But I'm not going to replace them because my joysticks look good. And on the dome area, it has like this pattern that I like a lot. So in order to take a PS5 controller apart, first you need to take off this little plate in the front, which is super easy. You can use a fingernail or whatever you want, and you have to do it on both sides of the legs of the controller. So once you pop that out, it's just gonna come off like this out of the joysticks area. But after taking it off, there's 2 screws on the bottom. There's a total of 4, and the other 2 are hidden under the bumpers. So you're going to take a pry tool and just go underneath it from the middle of the buttons, and just make sure to catch it or to hold it down or something, because it will fly out if you don't hold it down. So after you take both of the bumpers, you will now see the screws that are in there. So once you take those 2 screws off and take the other 2 on the legs, then you can finally pry open the controller. There's 6 clips holding the controller together. It's going to be 2 right here, and of course on the other side of the controller as well. And there's 2 right here in the middle. So first I'm going to pry off the 2 on the sides, and then I have to pry off the one in the middle, and now I just got to force my way in. Once I open it, you're going to see the battery, and then on top of it is like the mapping control circuit board. And then of course you can see on the bottom is the Scuf buttons on the paddles, and there's just a bunch of ribbon cables everywhere. Like I